Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And I want to try something different this morning. So if you follow me on my daily financial news, you know that I kind of summarize a lot of articles and topics of the day. But something I want to do is encourage the discussion around financial independence. So something I have never done is I've never pulled up an article and actually gone through it in detail with you. So what I'm going to do today is try something different. Let me know what you think. I don't know actually how this is going to work out, but I saw an article, a title, a headline about a 32-year-old millennial who has achieved financial independence. So what I thought I would do is I would bring up that article and we would go through it together. So all I have seen thus far is the title. And now we're going to go through it together and see what we think. And again, I'm hoping that there are lessons learned. I am hoping there are things that we can all take from this because, again, being 32 years of age and achieving financial freedom should be admired. And hopefully it will provide us some things to think about. So I don't know. Let's find out if it happens. So again, I did have the article saved. So it is right here. So again, this is what I've seen so far. How a millennial in Montana went from living in a camper van to financial independence by age of 32. So let's pull it up. Actually, let's give credit to the author, Ryan Ermey. I think that's how you say that. If not, I apologize, Ryan. But yes, you are the author of this, and it's on CNBC. Make it if you would like to see it. So full credit to the author. I'm just reading it. Well, that's a big family. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Wow, that's a big family. So, okay, again, I haven't seen this yet, so we're going to go through this together. Julian Deshard has lived a life full of unconventional and at times uncomfortable financial choices. Interesting. Long before tiny houses or van life were considered desirable, she put herself through college living in a camper. Oh, interesting. I don't know that I've ever heard that before. When she was in her mid-20s, she and her husband, Adam, and their 11-year-old son shared a rental home with a housemate. Okay, so wait, so mid-20s with an 11-year-old. Got it, okay. So they were house hacking. So again, she's sacrificing, right? Lived in a van or a camper, excuse me, in college, had a rental home. So she was house hacking with her husband, right? Husband and child. It says, yeah, her husband and their 11-year-old child. Okay, cool. And after, see, this is what happens when you don't go through the article. And after buying their first house in Montana for 50 grand, the young family slept on an air mattress while they fixed the place up. No floors, no walls, no kitchen. She recalls it was a really rough year. So again, lots of sacrifices to start this. Not many people would choose to do that in their 20s, but congratulations. That's where it all starts. The family still owns that house. That's cool. So she didn't sell it, or they didn't sell it with 2 others. So they now have 3 houses, it looks like. Rent checks from the 2 properties. Okay, so they rent 2 and own 1 or live in 1. That makes sense. Along with the other income sources. Okay, what are those? We'll see those in a minute. Allowed Jillian and Adam to reach financial independence and quit their day jobs 5.5 years ago when Jillian was 32. Wow, congratulations. So that means they're 37 today, right? 32 plus 5, that makes sense. Neither of us has any plans to go back to a 9-to-5. Cool. All right. So these days, the couple lives like a pair of early retirees, paying their day-to-day expenses with income from their rental properties. Again, they have 2. Adam's military pension. Okay, so he must have done his 20, I'm guessing. And periodic withdrawals from their investment portfolio, which as of August totaled more than 700 grand. Wow. That's awesome. $700,000 at 37. That's pretty cool. Good for them. Is also doing some writing. She recently finished her first book and life coaching. So it's cool. While hoping to raise their couple's 5 children, ages 5 to 13. I'm confused. Didn't they have an 11-year-old before? Now he's only 13. Was that 11-month-old or was that 11-year-old? Did I read that wrong? Where is it? Yeah, wait a second. When she was in her mid-20s, so in her mid-20s, she had an 11-year-old, but now she's 37 and has I don't know. Something's wrong with that data. That can't be right. It must be. So she's that must be an 11-month-old. I think that otherwise that doesn't make sense. You had an 11-year-old at mid 20s and now you're 37. You have a 13-year-old. Something's wrong. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the kids moved out of the house. Maybe. I don't know. Something seems off. I don't know. Anyways, I'm reading the article for the first time. What can I say? Here's how she went from living in a van to enjoying financial independence and what she and her husband have planned for the future. Cool. This is what I want to read. An early lesson, money gives you options. Okay, so grew up straddling the poverty line in a small town in Montana, and she learned the importance of money early on. My mom was in her second marriage, and it wasn't a healthy relationship. When I was about 12, I begged her to leave, she says. Her mother said no, it wasn't realistic. She couldn't raise 3 kids on her own. Yeah, that reminds me of I don't know if I told her. I certainly felt like my mom should have left my dad earlier than she did. It was a toxic relationship, but she stayed in it because she didn't make any money, at least when I was younger. She was a stay-at-home mom. So lots of moms, some dads make those choices for the kids. So yeah, kids remember that stuff, folks. If you're in a toxic relationship, your kids are watching, just so you know. All right, so I went upstairs and sobbed hot tears. What are hot tears? I don't know what hot tears are. Into my pillow, and it gave me this realization that money gives options. Yeah, money was a burning thing for me as well. I remember those days. It gives you choices, she says. In the moment, it was like, I really want more choices than we currently have, and saving money seemed to be the most direct path towards having more options. Saving money. Okay, that's interesting. So, but again, she's a teenager, right? At this point, so it makes sense. All right, I like it. Began saving diligently during high school. Wow, that's good. Not many people are saving in high school. I know I wasn't. Working 20 to 30 hours a week at a gas station and local pizza restaurant. So this girl was busting her butt in high school, 2 jobs. By junior year, she saved enough to move out. Wow, as a junior. Wow. $1,000, which she spent on an ugly old computer. It was less glamorous living situation, but it meant she wouldn't have to pay what? I'm confused. By junior year, she saved enough to move out, which she spent on an ugly computer. Oh, okay. So she had $1,000, but she didn't move out. She bought a computer instead. I think that's what it said. I just had to pay the lot. Wait a second. Oh, camper, not computer. See, now you know why I don't read live. I thought this said on an ugly old computer. That's a camper. See, I'm a horrible reader. All right. Okay. Keep going. Sorry. Freshman year of college, Bible college that no longer exists. Okay. And living in a camper. That's when she met Adam Jr. at Northwestern. The couple married that summer. The combined finances. So again, earlier she was 27 and had an 11-year-old. I don't see any mention of a kid in 2002 though. So I'm confused. Adam's student loans, credit card debt, 10,000 medical bill that she had. Oh my God. Didn't realize she had. They owed 55 grand. Wow. And that's what, 2002? Okay. We're paying down their debt, supporting themselves by keeping spending minimum. Awesome. That's, again, needs versus wants. I talk about that a lot in the Get the Money Right course. Not many people realize how important that is. Just before we got married, that we should always save half our incomes. Ooh, that's a big number. Congratulations. That's where I was not there anywhere until I was in my 30s. So yeah. Then down the road, you'll have kids, buy a house, do other expensive things, no more possibilities, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so she started with the mindset of saving half her money. That's cool. Didn't leave them with much to live on. Nope. They saved 12 to 14 grand. Wow, congratulations. Not many people can do that. The husband said it was easy. I think we went out to eat 3 times in the entire childhood. Not eating out for a year is just what people do. Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. Eating out's expensive. Who is now living with her husband in a camper, had to fight the feelings of inadequacy. I had a lot of insecurity about growing up poor. It was one or the other. We could either look wealthy or try to build wealth. There you go. That's some good thinking right there. Tackling the debt was the top priority. Absolutely. Oh, he made the decision to join the army. Okay. For your commitment, in turn wiped out his 35 student debt. Oh, that's cool. He joined the army because it wiped out his student debt. I didn't know that. Cool. Oh, went off to basic training for his first anniversary. How cool. Again, sacrifice. That's cool. Okay. Got his first. So she got a job at Starbucks. Oh, Adam's foster brother. Okay. Wow, they talked about adopting on a first date. That's awesome. Oh, look at that. Now it explains it. They adopted an 11-year-old. How awesome is that? That is awesome. Good for them. That's cool. Yay. Let's clap. That makes sense. Okay. Starbucks bringing in the family's income, promoted to assistant manager, 60 grand a year. Okay, cool. 2-bedroom home apartment near the Pentagon, more suburban living, big jump in rent. We got a housemate, so they started house hacking. Look at that. Dion and Matt would be proud. These are experts on my weekly show. So that kept the expenses the same, but they upgraded neighborhood. That's cool. Yeah, they saved 25 grand because of the housemate. That's really cool. Wow, they had 20, by the time they were 24, saved 100 grand and were debt free. Woohoo! Live below your means, live below your means, needs versus wants, make sacrifices, get uncomfortable. That's awesome. Wow. So they considered buying a house, many retirements like breaks, I'm guessing. Okay, what else do we got? They like the idea of taking mini vacations. I think that's cool. So let's keep going. Wow, so they moved to Germany. He re-enlisted for 4 more years. They visited 27 countries because of his break. That's cool. This is awesome. Wow, so they bought the dip in 2008. Look at this couple. How awesome. So they're 28. The stock market crashes. They basically go all in, maxing out their IRAs. That's a great story. I really love the fact this is fun. I might do this more often. So spend time in Germany. They first biological son, that goes back to the adoption. That makes sense. Wow, they came back with even more money, 250 grand. Continued to save half their income. Again, folks, what is this now? Like 8 years they've been doing this? Ah, good for them. They came back at the tail end of their housing crash. They bought a cheap fixer up back in Montana. So they could have bought a nice house for 150, but they bought a total dump for 50 grand. Again, sacrifice being uncomfortable. I love this story. They didn't have a contractor. They're not Chip and Joanna Gaines. That's funny. Let's just watch YouTube videos. Oh, that's cool. The couple renovated about half the house before purchasing a, wait a second, couple. Oh, then they got, okay, which they called the yellow house. They got a rental for 70 grand. Cool. Okay, so they're halfway through the remodel. Okay. Following 2 years were tough. Micah, type 1 diabetic, passed away unexpectedly at age 20. Oh, I'm sorry. I believe that was their adopted. Oh, that's terrible. Wow, that's not good. 5-year-old were sleeping on an air mattress, half renovated house. Oh, they're still in that house. Wow. So he took 6 months off to complete. And child with the help of a pension he'd received for his medical discharge. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Oh, 2 FERT surgeries rendered him unable to serve. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds painful. Oh, they're going to adopt again. So, okay. That's nice. So they again sacrificed. So far, what I'm reading is this: they sacrificed, live uncomfortable. Wow, they took three. Oh, this couple is awesome. They adopted 5, 2, and 1. Oh, and she was pregnant again. Oh, so now they were break even. Wow, this couple is. I like this couple. I want to meet them someday. So the husband was working a stressful job, couple of rental incomes. So then they took a mini break, and it's been 5 years and they haven't run. Okay. So now they moved back to the big house after finishing the remodel, rent out the yellow house and the other one. So cash flow is about $1,700 a month. So he has a pension for $1,500 from the service. So they live on about $3,000 a month in Montana, it looks like. So they use the 4% rule for extraction. They did a cash out refi. Wow, they took out $250,000. Okay. Bought some nice things. Oh, looking at Portugal, Costa Rica, and Arizona. Wow. Teaching kids about money. We're starting to help them invest. My 8-year-old is desperate to start a TikTok account. She's been begging since Christmas. This is pretty cool. Wow. So first off, just an awesome couple. Again, I had not read that article, so I did the math wrong, right? The 11-year-old and then thought it was 11 months, and it turns out they adopted. So again, sorry, I was reading the article for the first time. But what I see in that couple is communication, right? They talked about adopting on their first date as an example. They set really what most people consider crazy goals of 50%, saving 50%. One of them, the husband joined the military to pay off student debt. I didn't know that was a thing. They bought the dip, right? They had $100,000 saved. They bought the dip in '08 stocks. They lived uncomfortably lots of times, a camper in college, a dump with no kitchen. It's just a couple that kind of live below their means and were uncomfortable, willing to be uncomfortable. Now they're, I think they said 32, financially free, live on $3,000 a month. I keep telling kids in high school when I talk to them, right? If you can live on, I say 2,500, in this example, $3,000, you're only a couple of years away from being financially free. But when we get the job and we let our means, or when our means expand, we let our life expand, it can catch up on you. So I thought this was a fun exercise. Really, really fun couple. Adoption, three siblings. How cool is that? 2 kids of their own, 3 siblings, a family of 5 kids. Really, really cool story. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I hadn't read it before. So yeah, that was fun. Have fun, everyone. Take care.